While listening to the latest episode of Supernatural, I heard Dean make a small little remark.
Maybe you should have done the outsiders.
Hmm, Outsiders, Supernatural. Hmm. Well, can never say I'm one for disappointing requests. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Phantom Fridays, where we proceed to look at some of the other fanfictions that are not pony. In other words, the lesser fanfics. Well, inspired by Dean's little comment, I decided to do a little searching, and lo and behold, I found not one, not two, but three supernatural fics outside crossovers. In one particular, I found one called "Let the Games Begin," complete, and it is complete, and it sounds interesting from what I've read on the description, but it never be said that an interesting premise will get ruined by bad writing. So, without further ado, let's proceed to look at. Oh boy, we're going to do a supernatural and outsiders fic. Trixie, what's the matter? Oh, I'm just saying that the homoerotic subtext is going to be through the roof. Oh, come on, Trixie. It's supernatural and outsiders. Does how much homoerotic subtext can there be? Have you seen Sunset's fanfiction? No, and quite frankly, I do not. Heck, some of her stuff is tame compared to Fluttershy's. Don't even get me started on Ami's. Okay, you have a point. A lot of fangirls could probably do that, but I'm pretty positive I'm not going to see any of that type of subtext in this fanfic. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Your fate, your boy. Trixie, down, girl. Just saying, you are going to be you have to watch out. Well, everybody, let's enjoy as we here at the Treeberry Memorial Library am proud to present Let the Games Begin by Sora Exuna 123. I long for the I prefer having my people have normal names sometimes. Let the Games Begin by Sora Exuna 123. This is like before season 7 Supernatural. The later anything after season 5 is Supernatural? No, 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 no. I think you misunderstand me, Fick. Me and the later seasons of Supernatural have an agreement. They stay on their side of the fandom, and I stay on mine. We don't mix, we don't interact, and I don't proceed to riff those later seasons a new one. It's a good balance. So, get this. A tall man, that is about 6'4", started. He had long brown hair that was banged pulled back. Once could easily make a mistake for him for a big moose. Apparently, there's been a group of kids that traveled to the forest but never came out. The elder brother glanced up from sharpening a knife. He had short hair and was about 6 foot.
So, they could just be lost.
But this was a month ago, and exactly 2 months before that, another group went in and never came out. Nothing was left but trails that disappeared.
So, what do you think we're dealing with?
Sam, the younger brother, shrugged. I don't know. A Wendigo? A ghost haunting the area? Anything, really. Dean, the older brother, was about to answer when he heard a flapping of wings.
Hey, Cass.
Dean greeted. Dean. Cassiel greeted. It's a witch.
Son of a bitch, I hate witches!
In the past, Pony Boy watched back from the track practice. The streets were empty, since he stayed back with the coach to go over some things next meet. Sighing, he looked at the bright, darkening sky. It was a beautiful sunset, and the breeze went by gently. The moon was starting to show, while a few stars spotted the skies a bit. And then there was a bird, in a black cloud flying toward him. Wait, what? He didn't have time to react before the cloud entered his mouth. Pony Boy attempted to gag it out, but it was futile. See, told ya, it's starting. No, bad Trixie. Everything went black. Future. Team Free Will entered the forest, weapons armed. The witch was probably expecting him. Everything was fine until they reached the center of the forest. A twig snapped near them, and they spun around. Ah, boys, I'm glad you can make it. The witch came out of the shadows of the trees.
Wait, you came out that easily? Dean asked. This is the easiest hunt ever.
Well, I was only given one job. They promised to leave me alone after I accomplish it. It's really easy.
And that job?
All they said was to send Dean and Sam Winchester back, so I will. Before anyone could reply, there was a flash before everything became black. The demon that was now in Ponyboy's body, ooh, Trixie, walked back home. He smiled. Any second. Lilith gave me a message from Lucifer, and I'm planning on completing it. I'm not allowed to kill anyone, sadly. Just give Sam a test. Oh, this is season 4. Oh, season 4 or 5. Oh, thank God. You had me worried there, fanfic. A flash of light above me, and bodies pushed me flat to the ground. I cursed silently, but my best funny boy act. It was time for the testing to begin. Now, I was about to comment on the prologue, but it's okay. Little text message at the bottom. We can understand. Understand. We were all rookies once, except for martial art fruit user. He's still a rookie. Okay. Let's see. I Cass's ability to see demons when they were our vessels are now gone because they are messed up by the witch. Um, Rule 1, writer. That's not really the best way to describe what's happening in the fic. Sometimes you need to actually say that in the story. This is called show, don't tell. You see, if I skipped your author's note, I would have no idea about this. So you would have to have Dean say this. But I'm trying to figure out how the witch was able to do that to an angel. Um, the easiest way to do this would have been to write Cass out. You didn't really need to put Cass in. But I'm going to give you this one, okay? All 4 of the ones on the ground. Um, I think you're going to need to fix the grammar here. Groaned before the 3 men stood up, dusting themselves off.
Where are we? I don't know.
Both Cass and Sam replied. If it wasn't for Sam, Ponyboy would still be on the ground. The demon would never admit it, but it kind of hurt having 3 fully grown men crashing upon you. No, really.
Hey, are you okay, kid?
Sam asked, picking him up from the ground.
Sorry we didn't see you from here.
Ponyboy observed the 3. He heard Sam was tall, but this was ridiculous. Where you guys come from? Sky? How's you laying on top of me? They looked at the teen nervously. We were running and kinda didn't see you, Sam reasoned. But you fell. Never mind. I guess I must have been seeing things.
Can we ask you where we are and what year it is?
Cass asked bluntly. Ponyboy switched his gaze to Castiel and looked down weirdly. Dean and Sam caught on what was wrong with the question instantly and tried to cover him.
We're travelers, so we never had a calendar or time to read the newspaper. We stumbled here by chance.
Dean covered. Ponyboy nodded. Well, you're in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The year's 1965. The 2 brothers' mouths dropped. Sure, they had been in the past before, but this was still far back. And it was only 2 years away from when Dean's baby, the Impala, was born. I'm Ponyboy Curtis, by the way. The teen continued. Both Dean and Sam chuckled.
What's with that name?
Dean asked with a smirk. My dad was an original person. I have a brother named Soda Pop. That's cool. My name is Sam Winchester, and this is my brother Dean. And over there is Cass. Dean got a bit more serious.
Now, Ponyboy, you noticed anything weird lately?
Weird in what way?
Like unnatural things, paranormal, weird murders, disappearances.
Paranormal? You believe in that stuff? But no, nothing.
Well, if you see anything weird, come tell us. We'll be here a while.
Team Free Will walked down the street. There they were, just a walking down the street, singing diddy-dum. That was weird. They were on their way to find a motel. Again, let me fix that. It's Their. It was obvious that this would take a few days. Sam picked up a newspaper on the way, scanning through it. They indeed traveled back through time. There's nothing happening here, Sam confirmed. But right when he said that, there was a scream.
Now there is,
Dean said, as the three ran towards the scream. The demon left after the three left. He walked into a gas station, not the DX station. That was a very important note. Thank you, Mister. Thank you, Miss Fanfic Writer. I will take this knowledge safely.
can I help you?
Nah, basically. I just need something meaningless, like your laugh. Before the clerk had any time to react, Ponyboy's eyes turned blank.
Your eyes!
The clerk exclaimed, but those were his last words before Ponyboy snapped his neck. Behind him, he heard a scream. The demon turned around, grabbing the scared woman's head and ripped it from her body before tossing it to the side, like a basketball. By now, everyone in the store had noticed Ponyboy. Some even recognized him. One tried to run away, but the demon shut the door. There is no escape, Ponyboy said, smiling. Everyone gathered around the station. Police already controlling the crowd of people. Dean, Sam, and Castiel pushed their way and saw the horrifying picture. Well, of course they were calm about it. It wasn't the first bloody scene they seen. The bloody scene they seen. You know, a proofreader would help so much. The store doors had splattered blood on it and handprint, as if something had somewhat tried to escape. Inside, they could make out a few bodies lying on the ground. Yeah, see, here we go again. Oh, come on! But all three of them could smell sulfur. Not matter how calm, cool streams. No matter how masked it was in blood and death. It's been here, Castiel said. We've just missed it.
Son of a bitch!
Dean swore. The demon glanced at the three men and smirked before glancing at the gas pumps. He was right next to them, and he wanted to leave the scene with a big bang. But Ponyboy knew he had to do this quickly, or draw attention. Before the demon left, he had taken out a box of matches. Ponyboy could sense that no one noticed him as he walked towards the pump and began to spray gas around and on the pumps. It was lucky that everyone only assumed that the smell was because they were at a gas station. The demon then proceeded to lighting the match before starting to walk away and throwing it back. The demon started to sprint out of the way. He only turned back as the match landed in the gasoline and started to grow bigger. He swerved the corner, happy that the boy, Ponyboy, was fast. There was a loud explosion and screamed. Another explosion. So did the explosion scream, or was there a scream and a loud explosion? Where did the scream come from, and where is it in place of the person who screamed? We need transitions, Mr. Fick. Another explosion. And commas. Lots of commas. That came from the other pump. So it was an explosion that came from the other pump. I know this is going to sound ironic considering how I used to write, but commas are your friend, Vic. The demon chuckled as he turned around and started to turn back to the gas station. Ponyboy! He heard. The demon turned and saw that Two-Bit had called out to him, the gang following behind him. I'm so glad I watched The Outsiders at the beginning of this week, because this means I get to practice not only my Amelia Estevez impersonation, freaking sweet, but also my Rob Lowe, C. Thomas Howell, Patrick Swayze. Do you guys think if I did my Patrick Swayze voice perfectly, I'd get as many ladies as he does? Anyway, depending on where this fic takes place, I could also practice Ralph Macchio, and, and Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise. I get to be I get to be sort of nutty, and I get to pop up in a movie that has more homoerotic. Excuse me, Fick. My apologies. And I get to pop up in a movie, that has more homoerotic subtext than a freaking Village People musical. Yes. Let's see, who else do I got here? Oh, Diane Lane and maybe Tom Waite. I don't know who that is. Ooh, and I get a really awesome music singer. I think I'm in the money. Sweet. Hey, do you all know what happened? Ponyboy asked when they called him.
No, we heard an explosion.
Derry answered. I get to do Patrick Swazey. Life is good to me. Yeah, I heard too. I was just leaving the library when it happened. I hope nothing too serious. Adding it, serious happened. The gang went to the gas station and stood aghast. Pony's mouth twitched as he held back a smile. It was only noticed by Johnny, who was right next to his best friend. Well, I suppose I know where this takes place in the timeline of the book. Thank you, Patrick. But he only passed it on, holding back cries. Holy crap! Steve gasped out. They saw burnt bodies on the ground. A few police cars blew up as well, and huddled on the spot there were people. The Winchesters and the Angel were there, reassuring the citizens. Please, stop. The demon heard in his head. He'd forgotten that had Ponyboy conscious when he was killing. Ponyboy been conscious. No, why would I do that? We're just starting. How do you like my art, Ponyboy? Blood makes the richest color. You know what I think would be best, though? The demon asked Ponyboy. There was silence before he got the answer. What? The blood of your precious friends, after you killed them with your own hands. Okay. The demon stepped back to the outer world before glancing at who was talking. What? I asked, are you okay? Johnny asked again. Oh yeah. Just thinking about who might have done that. Everyone started to file out, and the gang started to leave. The Ponyboy turned around, only to be met with a chest. Oh, I am so enjoying the fact that I get to voice Ralph Macchio. Next time I might do a Karate Kid fanfic so I could just do Mr. Miyagi. Wax on, wax off. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you there. The person stepped back. Oh, Ponyboy, long time no see. As in, it's been only been about a few minutes. That was Sam Winchester, all right. I don't get it. We just saw him less than an hour ago. I'm with Cass on this. That line made no sense. Also, I'm surprised nobody's asking how Cass and Dean were able. Then again, where were they in the vicinity of the explosion? Hey, Cass. I agree. No! Ow! Ow! POV shot changed. Ow! Ow! That hurt. Ow! Not again. Ow! Skull hurting. Warn a feller next time, will ya? Ignoring the looks I was getting for the gang. Ow! Trixie, give me my aspirin.
We keep bumping into you.
It's a small world.
Who are they?
Derry asked.
The name's Dean.
Dean introduced. I'm Sam. Sam said. Two-Bit commented quietly about the tall people.
I'm
Castiel. I bumped into them on the way to the library. It was a crushing encounter.
We're sorry.
Sam apologized, laughing sheepishly. So, is this what you meant by weird? Sam nodded, and Ponyboy narrowed his eyes. I'm guessing you aren't normal travelers. The three were surprised.
How did you know that?
Oh, I don't know. Could it have something to do with, first off, you fell from the sky, two, you started walking around talking like talking like you know these things. Three, you were able to survive an explosion at very close range, and nobody seems to be nosing. Seriously, am I the only one who notices these things? Where were you in the vicinity of that explosion? Four, four, you're walking around and asking those type of questions. It's kind of suspicious, you know. Well, one, you fell out of the sky for a second. Two, you don't have a car, so traveling would be difficult.
Oh, sir, remind me that my baby's missing.
3. You asked me for the year, which shouldn't be a problem to tell because of the climate changes.
Hey, wait a minute. My baby won't be born for another 2 years. Cars can sometimes take up a year to be invented. Hey, Sam, let's head to Detroit.
Why's that?
Well, I got want to see my baby when she was just a little thing back when she was a carburetor.
Ah, layer, Steve, just layer. And 4, you didn't know the place we were at, which, if you had taken a bus or a train, would have been known because they tell you. Yeah, we kind of failed at trying to hide that. Man, we did that better in the episode. If you walked here, then you would be able to read the signs.
You're pretty sharp.
Dean commented. Of course he is. He's going to be the one that makes it out, Soda said.
He just doesn't use his head.
Derry added, patting the demon on the head. If the demon wasn't on this message, he would have killed them already. Everyone said goodbye and headed their own ways again. Okay, Vic, you have 100 points on your English score. I'm going to dock a point the next time I see you mix up the words there, or there again. Do not test me. Meanwhile, let us bounce happily in a new body. It was one of a little girl, just like the ones he had possessed in the future. The plan was right on track, but she was here to speed it up a little bit. Muhahaha, ha ha. On a side note, Stay Gold has been playing in my head for the past few minutes, so next chapter. I was now sitting on the couch and pretended to pay attention to Mickey Mouse on the television. My attention was mostly on the fact that I sensed Lilith near Tulsa. What's she doing here? What are you thinking about? So I asked, joining me on the couch. I glanced at him, suggesting that he would give me some space. I'm trying to put together a puzzle from a book I'm reading before he gives me the answer. I laughed smoothly. Sounds complicated. It should be easy, but it's way too loud in here to think. I'm going on a walk. Without another word, I walked out. Dark clouds covered the sky, indicating it was about to rain. Either that, or follow Equestria has started and nobody warned me. I continued to walk, ignoring the few drops hitting my shoulders and head. Soon I emerged at the park. It was empty except for a small girl who was swinging on the swing sets. Oh, shoot, baby doll. She was no longer older than the age of 7 and had short, strawberry blonde hair that almost reached her shoulders. Her hair was pinned back by a pin. She wore a white dress with a few traces of blood on it. I approached her. You seem to be enjoying your meat suit, Lilith, I said. The girl didn't turn around, but I knew I knew that she knew who I was. I knew you would say that. Should be saying the same thing to you, she answered. What's the point in an old body? A lot easier to have a younger one. You could get away with anything when you have full of energy. I sat down and swing to her. True. So why are you here? I'm found my own. I just wanted to speed the process a bit. I want to free Lucifer from his cage again as soon as possible. He wants to have another chat with Sam Winchester. So, what's the new plan? Nothing too different. It's good to have a small twist in the plot. I agree, but sometimes those twists can be a little bit weird. Lilo swung higher. I could feel someone staring at me, and I could feel like Lilo did too. It looks like we have a visitor, I said, and slowed down the swing till it came to a full stop. I looked at the chains into the swing and smirked. Think about something fun? Lilith asked. What do you think about chaining that greaser up on the tree over there? Interesting and creative. That's why I picked you out of all the other demons. I smirked and got from the swing. My hand grabbed onto the chains and gave a light tug on it, making the chain wings snap off. The creature that was tried to walk away, as if he saw nothing, but I was already upon him, chain dragging the ground on me. Don't know why I would do this. This seems to kind of just basically tell the Winchesters I'm right here. Kind of defeats the whole purpose of hiding out in these meat suits. And if I wanted to test Sam Winchester, why didn't I just lure him out or something? Why didn't I sneak him about? Also, why am I doing this when there is really no bloody point? Might as well just say, here I am! You can't escape. Not after what you just saw, I said. Two kids swinging on the swing and talking about Lucifer? Yeah, that. Well, what's the big deal? I don't quite really know. I'm just doing this because evil. Ooh. What are you talking about? Greaser asked. I only smiled as I snapped his neck. Wow. Creative. Greaser fell down, and I quickly calm, and started to wrap his arms and legs with the chain. There we go. Trixie! I fell deeper into the darkness of my mind. I want to stop all this, but I have absolutely no control over my body. Why can't anyone see that I'm different and put a stop to the demon? Well, you know, they do a good job at hiding. Well, normally. Somehow in this fic, these guys seem to be having that slip up. Put a stop to the demon. But now, there are two demons. And if I remember correctly, Lilith is a very known one. Don't know how much more of this I can take. Didn't even know that demons existed until a day ago. Well, you read Pony Boy, so I noticed that Castiel person was an angel, or at least a fallen one. I mean, yeah, he doesn't have wings, and I'm kind of hoping that the demon told me. The creature that was now chained up to a tree, legs hovering above the ground, killed and beaten by that demon that was controlling him. His shirt was torn open, and so was one of his arms. On the creature's stomach and chest were the words, Lucifer is rising again, that were written in blood. The demon started to run back to my house. He slammed over the door, earning everyone's attention. Pony Boy, what's wrong? Johnny asked, walking over to me. I was passing by the dark, and I think you all need to see this, the demon said. No, don't listen to him. Please, notice that's not me. So, you wanted to test Sam, but you're trying to get the Winchester? Don't go, I yelled, knowing it was useless. They can't hear me. All of them followed the demon to the park. I was lazily listening to the two-bit rambling off about a girl. Hi! Picked up when Ponyboy slammed on the door. Ponyboy, what's wrong? I asked, walking over to him. I was glad that I could get away from two-bit's endless rants. I was walking over to the park, and I think you need to say this. Ponyboy said, breathing hard. For a moment, I saw mischief mixed with sorrow in Ponyboy's eyes. But I passed it off. We started going to the park when I heard the distant yell, Mark, 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 Mark. Don't go, I heard. I looked at Ponyboy, since it was his voice. The yell was full of sorrow, it seemed almost desperate. But Ponyboy was trying to convince Steve to go, since Steve thought that what Ponyboy was only useless finding. The voice couldn't have been Pony's voice, but it was clearly his. Comma. Eventually, we all followed Ponyboy to the park. What I had seen there will ever be forgotten. Sam and Dean and Castiel were walking out of a diner. Didn't really surprise them on getting a free meal from the waitress. All it took was a flurry smile for Dean to make her give them free food. People ran past them on their way out and they heard a loud uproar from the park. I wonder what happened. Dean Cass spoke up. The three went to the park and saw something that only the three of them would understand. Lucifer is coming back. Sam gasped out, eyes widening in terror as he remembered hell. Oh, frack, it's season 6. How am I doing? Not too good. So I run on reviews. At least one is needed to continue. You know, if there's one thing that annoys me more than when an author tries to subterfuge bad writing with something that pops up in the author's notes rather than in the plot itself, it's when an author holds their fic for ransom for reviews. That kind of irks me and kind of twi- twitches my biscuit. Don't don't hold your future writers who are listening to this, please. I beg. I'm on my hands and knees here. Don't don't hold your fic for ransom. Let it go. Let it grow. If it's going to get reviews, it's going to get reviews. If it's going to get comments, it's going to get comments. If it's going to be bad, it's going to be bad. But take that, learn from it, see what's going on, find out what went wrong, and then take it. But if it's not getting reviews, then keep going. Just let it flow. Let it grow naturally and be glad that something is out there and that somewhere out there people have read it. It's perfectly okay. They may not always put in reviews. Heck, I don't put in reviews on 99% of the stuff I read. Sometimes they're just small little comments. Sometimes people just don't have things they want to say when they read your story. But that is okay. That is why I look up view counts. Okay, now that public service announcement has been left out of the light, you're stalling. Shut up, Trixie! We can continue. Lilith has left Tulsa to break the 66 seals. I thought that was something. Well, yeah, it's in the past, so I guess the seals would still be available. Still be available, but why would she try this again when she knows how easily that this is going to fail? Oh my god! She knew that Sam wouldn't fall for the tricks again and kill her, so she had to emphasize it sees dead. Wait. So do all demons have knowledge of the future? If the Lilith here is a Lilith in the past that isn't dead, then how does she know that Sam is going to kill her and oh good lord, I've gone cross-eyed. I suggest you stop thinking about it and enjoy the ride. That goes for you lot too. Yes. She decided on Ponyboy would be the one to break the seal. Lilith went straight for New York. Straight, S-T-R-A-I-T, is a path that pops up on a water. Straight, S-T-R-A-I-G-H-T, is a direction. It is also something that is not present in most outsiders and supernatural effects. Trixie! Possessing the body of a dead child of a teacher, her body Thank you. Her new body was revolting, and everyone that she passed in the streets looked at her in disgust. Okay. That wasn't a surprise, since she did have mud caked in her hair, and she looked like she had never seen a day in the sun. Her dress was worn and tattered, and she didn't have shoes, and nobody went in to help because... ... Lilith, with the help of the child's memories, found the house in a flash. She entered the unlocked doors with ease and walked upon the stairs to the teacher's office. It was morning, so the teacher was about to leave for work. The teacher turned around after placing important documents in his bag. Chloe! The teacher asked, surprised. What? You're dead! Papa, why did you kill me? What? I didn't kill you. Yes, you did. Now my body can't rest. It's all your fault. Why don't you love me? Of course I do! Then please, free my spirit. I'm suffering. I don't want this pain anymore. Papa, it hurts. What do I have to do? Go to work. I'm already at work. Kill, kill, kill 66 students. It is then I can go to rest. The teacher's eyes grew wide in disbelief. I can't do that! That's murder! Murder! So, Don't you love me, Papa? You love the fact that I'm in pain?
No, 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 no. I didn't say that. I, I love you, Chloe. You know that.
Then why won't you let me rest in peace?
I just can't murder my students.
Papa, if you can't do this, then I'll burn in hell. You're the only one, please.
The child didn't say anything more. It disappeared. She went to her next destination after dropping her current body off at the cemetery. Her next stop? Alaska! Sexy snakes, Ponyboy whispered as he examined his work. It was truly a work of art. Soda glanced back at his brother questionably. Did you say Ponyboy? Soda asked. Ponyboy shook his head, denying he said anything. Soda shrugged and went back to the horrifying scene. 65. But that came unheard. Soon enough, everyone returned back to their respective spots after the cops came. Once they reached their house, Derry turned back to the TV. The news channel was coming up. Coming soon after the tragic event, if even we have found a teen chained up against a tree, dead. The police investigators have recently have and who? The teenager's name is Richard Moore. No one knows who had done this, but we'll get back to you once we find out. In nationwide news, the teacher, Mr. Kirk of Young Wing Elementary School, has been caught after killing 66 students. Each student was killed separately by a knife. No one knows what brought Mr. Fred Cook, to kill. They said that he was a nice, stable man. When the police caught the man, they reported that he had never stopped mumbling, "I am only freeing my daughter's soul." Next up, who's gay?
64, Ponyboy murmured. This time, both Soda and Steve heard him.
64? What the hell's that supposed to mean?
What?
You just fucking said 64.
Alright, why did you have to swear? I did.
Steve sighed. Are you a retard? How could you not know what you just said a minute ago?
Well, at least I don't slack off like you.
What did you say?
I know you heard me fine, unless you're going deef. What did you do? Have the girls screaming their breakups with you? Can't keep a steady relationship? That just makes you a whore if you have so many. Steve went silent, and so did Soda, having been the only ones who had heard them fight. When did Ponyboy get better comebacks? If Dario heard him, Ponyboy would be dead. But Soda couldn't help but think about the thing Ponyboy said at the park. 66. What does that mean? 64 comes a couple before. After. 64 comes after. What happened to 65? Did he not hear that one, or he could not say it? Soda let go. Maybe it has something to do with school. Steve went to speak to Derry about Ponyboy's words before he interrupted him. You gotta tell Mommy? Oh, I didn't know how immature you are. That's so precious. You could be a little tattletale by the elementary school kids. He cooed. By now, Steve was bawling in fury, but was speechless. Pony, who seemed satisfied, stood up. Anyways, I'll go on to bed if you need me.
Wait, what about your dinner? Soda asked.
I'm not hungry. You can have it. With that, Ponyboy went to his and Soda's room. Can I have it? Pony 2-Bit pipped up. Soda didn't answer and looked to where Ponyboy walked off. Derry walked next to Soda, placing a large head on his shoulder.
He hasn't been eating much, huh?
He asked. Much? He hasn't eaten one bite for a few days now. Okay, let's see. If Ponyboy just got recently... It's only really been a day! Soda cried, flinging his arms up in a frustrated manner.
Kids going on a diet?
Dally asked, leaning against the wall. I don't know what's going on. He's not sleeping too.
Let's take him to the doctor tomorrow.
Derry suggested. Soda nodded.
After that, he could go back to school.
Soda joined Ponyboy in bed to see his little brother with his eyes wide open. Soda sighed and swung his arm over his side. You okay? He asked. Pony nodded. Well, good night. Good night, he heard. Soda's eyes grew heavy and he closed them, drifting off to slumber.
but not before he heard a quiet 63.
And then he said 69, which brought to memories of what Soda and Pony Boy used to do on those long, long nights.
Fluttershy!
Oh, I'm sorry. I was writing my own fanfic. My apologies.
I didn't, Fluttershy, I didn't know you were. I hope you people don't mind. Fluttershy apparently is a very big Yowie shipper.
Well, only when it comes to outsiders. I'll be over here. Goodbye.
Lilith, in a boy's body, ran to the dock where a ship was deploying. She jumped right on the ship before the ship sailed off. And she was right. The ship held 15 sailors, the perfect amount she needed to break another seal. "Hey, kid! What are you doing here? Hey!" A sailor walked up to the boy after 16 minutes of sailing. The boy didn't respond, and the next thing the sailor knew, everything was black. "Hey, I do not like this new paint job! Hey!" 62, Ponyboy said. By now, Soda knew something was wrong. Why was Ponyboy counting down? Derry flipped on the news and watched as they talked about the weather before talking about it happening. "What's happening with my man?" "Investigators found a ship of 15 sailors aimlessly sailing the sea in Alaska. When they came to investigate, they found that everyone was blind. All of the sailors had said the same thing. I saw a boy, and then everything was black. His eyes were white. The investigators searched the boat, but found no body of a boy." "What's with all these things that are happening?" Johnny asked, walking up from the sofa. Ponyboy held back a smile and shook his head. Don't really know, Johnny. "In local news, 20 men and women have all mysteriously died. There are no traces of the killer whatsoever." "Ponyboy," Derry said, "we're going to a hospital for a checkup." Ponyboy looked at his oddly. "His what? His what?" "Left over." "We're just worried. Come on. We'll be late." "What about school?" "You can come in late."
Well, what seems to be the problem?
The doctor asked.
"He's not eating at all. It's also been a few days already. He's also stopped sleeping."
The doctor nodded. "He's also been counting down," so added, having been there and worried of his brother.
Counting down?
Both Derry and the doctor asked. Ponyboy smiled sweetly. Happy things are finally becoming fun.
"I'm glad somebody is."
He doesn't mind that they are catching on. "The first number I heard was 66. Then he started to count down from there once in a while. He's at 62 now."
Would you like to explain that, Ponyboy?
Ponyboy nodded. "There are 60 more times until the apocalypse starts." "Times what? Times something happens? 60 more time than what? Could you please finish the sentence or describe it in a paragraph?"
The apocalypse? The destruction of the world? I'm only guessing that I'm talking because Sharon's no says this. I mean, if there were two people discussing, that would make it an easier thing, but this is not.
That's what it means. It's gonna be a great show when it starts.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show. It's going to be spectacularly awesome. But then right around season 6, it's going to deteriorate. And by season 9, it's going to be unrecognizable. And you're just going to end up pulling your hair. And it's just as you start running it. God, I hate the later seasons! Really? It sounds interesting.
Call the police! It's supposed to be. It's gonna feel like you're right in the middle of the apocalypse itself. That's how real it is. You most likely would die while saying it.
That's amazing! What's the summary?
3 men get sent into the past. 2 of them are hunters, while one of them used to be an angel, but lost his grace. The only way they can get back is to find and kill the demon that is terrorizing a city. Every now and then a mysterious occurrence happens, mostly ending in death. But the 3 men didn't know is that there was another demon, by the name of Lilith, there. Lilith, in the meantime, was opening his seals to open Satan's cage to free him. The 3 men now had to stop him from rising. But this is the past. Satan's no longer in his cage. Event 1 didn't happen.
didn't happen just quite yet for event 2 to take place. This is what happens when you travel back in time. You get your events mixed up. If this was the earlier seasons, I could understand, and good lord, I'm getting more and more cross-eyed.
That's really interesting. The doctor finished his regular checkups and turned to the older brothers. I see nothing wrong. Nothing at all. I mean, sure, he has... It's strange. The loss of sleep and food has no effect on him.
And you don't see that as wrong because... ...
You're the worst doctor ever. Oh, please, I'm not the worst doctor ever. I actually got my degree from Dr. Nick Tatopoulos' school for bad medicine.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Dr. Nick.
I never get to do my Dr. Nick voice that much. I've never seen anything like it. Do you need anything else?
Yeah, a better doctor,
Derry said before exiting with Soda. Ponyboy fell behind, stopping at the door and looking back.
Doctor?
Yes, Ponyboy.
61.
His eyes turned back before he giggled creepily and walked away.
Oh, well, it's so nice that the boy is having such a freaking good time. They are all so giggly about all of this stuff. Oh, this is so glad. I am so happy. I am so glad that pretty boy seems to be going insane.
Hey, hey, Fanfic, let's have a talk. I know that you're supposed to be a supernatural and outsiders crossover, but I've noticed a little something. Something that seems to be missing from your plot. Come here, come here.
Sam and Dean don't seem to be doing too much. They all seem to be out for lunch. What are they doing? Are they all having a burrito?
Well, thanks, Sonata. This taco's really great.
Yeah, one of the best tacos I ever had.
Thanks. I tried my best. Me and the girls are trying a bunch of odds out until we can actually find a way to restore our magic and take over the world.
Sam, put that under stop her later. Right, Dean.
The demon tapped Ponyboy's fingers against the desk in annoyance. The teacher was idiotic. All she talked about was her Catholic religion and tried to bring everyone to be Catholic. Then teach us Us?
Oh, no. Me and Catholic schools are not going to get along. Diddles!
So, as I was saying, the priest told everyone that Satan's whole being is evil, and he only tells lies. He deceives everyone and everything. That is why we need to trust in God and his angels to watch over us.
Question. Why are you giving us a sermon? We're supposed to be learning math.
Well, math and geometry are just one step closer to joining the Lord. I mean, after all, have you ever seen an X and Y axis? It looks like a cross. Now, just for questioning me on that, stand over and proceed to be wet with the ruler while you say your Hail Marys. That's what's over us, and take us into heaven instead of that demon.
The teacher instructed, receiving a snort from Ponyboy. The class and the teacher turned to him.
Is there something wrong, Mr. Curtis? Other than my grammar. I'm a teacher. You'd think I would know better.
You know, if this nurse is anything like this nun is anything like the girl from Night of the Demons 2, I think we're good.
You're so wrong. Excuse me, how do you explain?
First of all, it's Lucifer. Did you forget that he's the one's upstairs son, too? That means he's an angel. Which also means that your precious Lord would throw more of his children away. He's not as trustworthy as you think. Ponyboy started to explain. The teacher got irritated at him, but suppressed the anger down.
Please go speak to me after class.
Ponyboy chuckled. You won't live that long. What are you talking about? It's no fair that Lil gets all the fun while I'm stuck here. Ponyboy's eyes went black, startling the teacher. She took an alarm and took out a rosary from her neck to use the rosary as a whip and proceeded to reenact all my favorite scenes for Night of the Demons 2. God, I love that flick! The demon wanted to sigh in aspiration at her attempts and flung her across the room. The student screamed and tried to run away, but the demon shut the door so tight they couldn't leave. Suddenly it's not your strong suit, is it? Ponyboy smiled pleasantly before it turned into a thin line. Really, Lilith? He asked out loud before the door opened and a little girl stepped in. She smiled at Ponyboy, a silent message passing to him. The demon sighed before walking out the classroom. He knew he had to get his suit a bit cut up, so he stayed by the entrance. There was a bright light consuming everything, and the sound of screams and crumbling stone. Ponyboy stepped outside and away from danger when a few stones scratched him, and a few kids ran out behind him. When they looked back, everything was in rubles. Everything was in a Russian currency? And the majority of things were burnt. Oh my gosh. A person breathed out that survived. She was one of the 7. A few So, first there was a few, now there are 7.
Now we are 2.
Sirens grew louder, and in a matter of minutes, police, ambulances, and fire trucks whirled into the school. Hey, Ponyboy, are you alright? Two-Bit asked, swinging an arm around the younger. He was one of the ones that survived. Steve had left for work, while Tiny had skipped school today. It was convenient, really. I'm sorry, but I'm trying my best to follow along here. You know, it was only one classroom. You didn't say the whole freaking school. I'm fine. What about you? Two-Bit started to explain to me. Ow! Will you cut it out with that perspective change? Will you? I'm getting whiplash. It hurts. But the demon ignored him and glancing at the forming crowd. People started to cry, and the police were having a hard time to sustain them.
Excuse me.
An officer went to Two-Bit and that. Ow! No padded hand.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Ponyboy nodded. He began.
What were you 2 doing when the explosion happened?
I was pissing in the urinal. Two-Bit answered him. My teacher told me to deliver a note to another teacher, and I heard things screaming and the things and the things with the thing and the people and the thing. Next thing I knew, the building was gone. Ponyboy explained us.
Excuse us. We're FBI.
Ponyboy looked over to Castiel, Dean, and Sam. Oh! So nice of you you 3 to join us! I was thinking that for a minute there that somehow you guys got absorbed or you guys decided to diss this freaking ran. Of course, if you did, I wouldn't blame you, and I would be asking you if I could join you. But it's so nice that you boys showed up. I mean, I so do love it when I read a crossover fic and the people that's supposed to be crossing over barely have any interactions, any talking, anything to do with the story, and have been left for the past 3 chapters or so. I still do love it when that happens. It's like my favorite thing about a fanfic. That is so what I totally did. What were you guys doing anyway? Oh, well, I'm sorry for you, sir. It was Taco Tuesday at Sonata's, so we decided to join her. Sonata, can I join you? No, sorry. I had to go home to get some more ingredients. Bye, Sonata. We showed a badge to the officers and entered the school area. They noticed Ponyboy and walked over. They then shoot off the officer. Ponyboy, are you all right? Sam asked worriedly. Ponyboy nodded. I didn't know you are the FBI, Two-Bit exclaimed. He got no reply, and Ponyboy explained what he had said to the officer.
Sam, Dean, the demon's here. I smell sulfur.
Castiel informed. Thank God you're here, Cass. Dean nodded.
Pony boy, 2-bit.
Derry pushed people aside to see if they were alive. Even though they were a few yards away, they could hear his large sigh of relief. 2-bit ran to them.
Are you two gonna be alright?
Dean asked Ponyboy. Yeah, there are 13 left, Ponyboy said.
Schools? There are a lot of schools here, then.
Not necessarily. Well, good luck in what you're searching for.
Vic, that seemed to be very quick, but don't worry, guys. One of the seals requires it to be Halloween before that works, so we got plenty of time to stop her. Nurses have found a doctor has hung himself in his office this morning, and one of the nurses have left a comment saying he was well hung.
Oh, boo, boo, boo! Oh, that was just simply horrible!
The TV rambled off as the three men sat at a diner. They were discussing what they had just found.
Son of a bitch is fast,
Dean commented, taking a bite of his burger. None of them were hungry, but didn't want to order in the diner. Not only that, but you have a burger in front of Dean. There's no way he's not going to take a bite of it.
No kidding.
Sam said.
13 left.
Castiel muttered.
Yeah, that's how many schools are left in Tulsa,
Dean said. Castiel looked down a second before telling what was bugging him.
But why would he be saying every school when he himself is in high school? There can't be that many high schools in practically one place. Tulsa's big. I wouldn't be surprised.
There's also the fact that he was calm when usually people would be sad if they lost most of their friends, or happy to see their school turn to ruble. I don't know why it suddenly turned into bits of Russian currency.
13 left,
Castiel said again.
Lucifer's coming back.
Realization dawned on his face.
13 more seals left.
Dean choked on his burger before swallowing.
Son of a bitch! Boy Boy's the demon!
No! Wow. Dean, Cass, Sam, I can so see why you three are really great hunters. I mean, you two figured something out that easy. I mean, good golly, that was beautiful. I was just brilliant. I'm just so shocked that you were able to figure this out. I'm so glad. Help. Team Free Will scurried down around town, asking for directions to Ponyboy's house. It wasn't that long until they made their says everyone knew everybody, almost.
Man, this place is a dump.
Dean commented at the living conditions in the area of Tulsa where they lived. No one answered them, and they made their way to the front door. Sam knocked on it hastily. On the other side, they heard a blaring TV become quieter as the balls clanged before the door opened. A large, rich man stood there that was almost as tall as Sam. And considering it's Patrick Swazey, that's a little bit better looking. What am I saying? I'm sorry, fangirls. You're right. Jared is more handsome than Patrick Swayze. No, he's not!
Oh, it's you guys. What y'all doing here? More importantly, how did you know where we lived?
He asked, crossing his arms. Sorry, mister.
I'm Derry. Ponyboy's brother.
Sorry, Derry. But does Ponyboy happen to be here? Derry's face turned overly protective, much like how Dean's face was when they were younger.
No, he left right after his school blew up. Wow.
The three didn't answer him, and bickered amongst each other.
Shit, who knows where he may be gone by now? It's been a few hours since the school blew up. They might be on the last seal for all we know. I mean, thank goodness one of those seals requires it to be Halloween, and you have to do a couple of sacrifices before that date in order to release Samael, but, you know, we are running out of time.
Yeah, but where do we start looking?
Why do you need Ponyboy?
Derry asked a little louder. The three turned back to him.
Grace staring at his manliness. Dean started to feel weak at the knees as he stared at the rippling pecs of Derry, unable to hold back his feelings of raw, pure emotion.
Fluttershy, we've really got to get you a adultfanfiction.net account.
Oh, no. I don't do it sexually. I actually write real boy romance. I don't need any sex in my materials in order to make it a good yaoi. Why do so many people think about that?
You're right, Fluttershy. People, not every yaoi or yuri needs to have sex in it in order to be an excellent, well-written romance story. It can always be just a couple of guy love. Thank you.
We don't have much time. Maybe we explain inside.
Castiel asked politely. Derry nodded, leaning to men and turning off the TV, which was playing an episode of Mickey Mouse. Or a cartoon of Mickey Mouse. Hey! Two-Bit argued, wanting to finish the new episode.
Y'all can watch it later. They need to explain something.
Derry replied. The three of them sat down next to Two-Bit on the couch, and the rest of the gang joined them.
When did y'all get here?
We followed!
So, why are y'all looking for Ponyboy? Wait, so all we're talking about is them seeing the kid?
Dally asked, pissed that he's wasting his time, but stayed anyway. In truth, he noticed the small changes in his behavior, and was a bit worried. Small changes? Small? You call all that small change? This thing hurts me. This might sound crazy to you, but we're from the future. Sam started, earning laughter from most of the gang.
Time travel? That's ridiculous.
Steve chuckled.
It's true. We were transported here by our wits.
This earned more laughter.
They're not lying.
Johnny, who was the one that didn't laugh, whispered. But that small murmur he had made was heard by everyone.
You don't really believe in this, right, Johnny?
Dally asked.
I don't know, but they're not showing any signs of lying.
Because we're not. Here, this will prove it. We have some technology from our time.
Dean said, taking out his phone. So did his brother and friend.
This is a phone.
The others examined him, now believing that they are from the future. Wow, you guys are so easily willing to believe everything. I got test this. Let me do this. Okay. One Piece is a bad manga. Ooh. Okay. Hayao Miyazaki doesn't make good anime. Ooh. Friendship is Magic is an awesome series. Okay, last one was true, but I'll get back to that. This show hasn't gone into seasonal rot. Ooh, okay, not even we'll believe that one. Okay, so what does this have to do with Ponyboy?
That's the thing. Ponyboy isn't really Ponyboy at all,
Sam explained. What do you mean? Asked Boy Terry and so bosses his parents from heaven. Do you remember that killing in the gas station? Everyone nodded. Well, when we were there, we smelled sulfur. Was this a sign that a demon had been there?
There's no such thing as demons,
Derry said.
They deceive everyone, and we've been face to face with them many times. So, anyone knows any strange behavior Ponyboy had?
He was counting down.
He was always thinking, like he was having an inner conflict. I'm well-spoken.
Yeah, but he always thinks.
But this is different.
He's almost never home,
Derry said. He doesn't eat or sleep anymore and has a small change in attitude.
Small? That was small.
Soda, I hate to see your idea of huge.
That confirms it,
Dean said.
Demons, like angels, don't need to sleep or eat. When did you notice him counting down?
After the park incident.
Wait, are you implying that Ponyboy is a demon?
Derry asked. Kid's too nice.
Demons lie to make themselves like the person that they are in.
Castiel explained. If the demon was having the thought moments, then Ponyboy was alive when it possessed him. It gives us a chance in saving him. If you notice, there were the words "Lucifer's coming back" written in blood on the man in park. And the demon most likely started to count down from 66. That's because they need to break 66 seals to release Lucifer from his cage.
All those deaths and explosions? Probably done by the demon.
Dean continued.
Normally, black dye demons, which are the most common ones, can't make things explode. So I'm guessing Ponyboy was possessed by Lilith, who usually blows things up. Or Lilith is here. That would explain multiple happenings at the same time.
The demon played around us. Gave us so many hints. I mean, we were interacting and talking to him so often in this fic. We were popping up all over the place. We were right there with him. He was giving us so many hints, and we just kept saying things over and over again. I mean, we had such deep chemistry with everybody.
You guys are crazy. There are no demons.
We can prove it to you that Ponyboy is possessed by a demon.
But first, we need to get ready. Can we use your water? Said Mary and John from up in heaven.
Derry sighed but nodded. The gang was a bit skeptical about all this, but whatever. Sam took out a flask and a rosary from his pockets and walked to the sink in the kitchen. He plugged the drain and then turned on the faucet to get the water in the sink until it was enough easily to scoop out. He then dropped the rosary in the water and started to chant. Exorciso te Christo aquea in nomine Dio, Patris omnium protus et infinitus spiritus sancti. After he finished the Latin chant, he put in the water in the flask and unplugged the sink. And I'm still waiting for the holy water hand grenades that were in Night of the Demons 2. Holy water, he explained to the gang. Dean, meanwhile, found a marker and stashed down in his pocket.
Alright, I'm ready to go,
Dean said. Last time Lucifer was being risen in a chapel. Do you have any chapels in the area? Sam asked. Derry thought for a moment. None of them really go to chapels or anything. Well, unless in the future. Johnny, I gotta say, you're a nice kid. You earned your spot.
What do you think he means by that?
Yeah, Ponyboy and Johnny used to go there.
Yeah, Ponyboy and Johnny used to go there until they brought us there. Now, can you guys show us the way?
Buffy?
Well, I figured nobody else has got dialogue, so I might as well join in.
Said Buffy as she walked in, her golden hair flapping in the breeze while arching her freaking teeth.
It's almost time,
Lilith said, forming a spiral from her blood. Next to her was Ponyboy, that was holding a knife that was crafted recently to kill Lilith.
But it looks like we have visitors. Oh, this is gonna be fun. On the way to the chapel, gonna get married. But Dallas and Johnny's wedding wouldn't be until after Johnny fought his way back from heaven.
Fluttershy!
Oh, sorry. That's another fanfic of mine.
I really gotta seek this girl's fanfiction.net account. Everyone heard greasers talking about a rumble that being started this evening. The rumble was an hour or so away. There was a rumble and nobody told me about it? Why? How? Why is it here? What's going on? Why is there a rumble? When did this happen? Why didn't you write us about it? Why didn't you tell us about this fic? Why did this Sully come in? Why did you throw points at us with a freaking hammer? It felt like an hour until they actually reached the chapel, and he took in the beautiful stone building with large wooden doors and stained glass windows. Usually, the priest would keep the door open in case there was someone who needs to pray, or talk to the priests that go to church almost every day.
Thank you for that notification, Mr. Fanfic.
The gang of Team Free Will stepped in, and they were met with the body of a priest on the ground. His head severed from his body. Obviously, somebody was playing football with it. Johnny squeaked quietly and hid behind Dally a bit. At the front room, there was a nun lying back down on the table. Ooh! with both of her hands going outwards over the table and a slit through her throat.
Oh, man! You killed the flying nun! Who does that?
In the corner of the chapel, there was another wooden door, which was led to a hallway. Dean, Sam, and Castiel went into it effortlessly, with the nervous gang trailing behind. They heard Small sit down in the room behind him. It took a few steps until they saw Ponyboy walk in sight at the open door before them.
Ponyboy!
Someone exclaimed, trying to face forward. It was pulled back by Dean. Ponyboy looked down. A smile on his face that sent shivers down everyone's spines. But what freaked out the most were his eyes that had a veil of black shaded over them. The door slammed shut without anyone pushing them, blocking Ponyboy from the gang. What the hell's wrong with his eyes? Asked the question that was on the gang's mind.
It is said that eyes are the windows to the soul,
Cassio explained.
since the demon possesses the body. The eyes would turn the color of the level of the demon, since the demon had black eyes. It would mean it is one of the lower class demons.
Derek growled, stomping over to the closed door, ignoring the warnings and trying to open it. The door handle turned, but it was as if someone was blocking him from entering.
Hold on, that's reckless. But then again, you are an older brother, and I expected Dean to do the same.
Derek ignored him and slammed his body against the door, forcing it open. On the other side, they saw a young girl standing in front of Ponyboy near a spiral of blood. The girl's wrists were slit and blood covered her hands. But she wasn't disturbed or in pain from it. The girl looked back from her eyes white.
Lilith!
Sam growled under his breath, earning a smile from the girl.
It's nice to see you're well, Sam. You're just in time, she greeted.
Do you believe us now?
Castiel asked. He heard nods from the gang. Derry stepped forward, getting everybody's attention.
I don't know opponents in there. Let's let him go, he growled. You're right. Ponyboy is still here. And he says hi.
The demon spoke. Which one? There are two of them. Dean stepped forward, munching towards the possessed teen. Derry marched towards the demon, about to grab his shoulder, but stopped when the demon held the knife at his own throat. The demon flashed his eyes black to Ponyboy's own eyes.
I wouldn't do anything rash.
Have you forgotten that I'm in control of this body? I could kill Ponyboy while I still use this body as well. Do you really want to be the cause of your sweet little brother's death? This knife was made especially to kill Lilith, but I can myself too. You can turn yourself into a can? Yes, I can turn myself into a can.
Boop! I'm a can of peaches!
There are tons of demons that would love to join this game. Game? You think this is a fucking game?
Dean asked.
Well,
of course. One can say that your life is a game. One wrong move and everything could be over. All the people I killed, well, I never messed up on that part. That's why I never got caught until now. Games are also fun, and I enjoyed every last second I was here. Why? I loved painting the ground of red. It wouldn't be fun to hear Ponyboy screams as he murders all of you with his body,
said the master, popping out of nowhere. Sam stepped forward, bringing Derry back and whispered to everyone with one word.
Run.
The 9-man ran, slamming the door behind them. Run away! Run away! Dean held the door shut, as Sam and Castiel pushed a bookcase in front of the door to hold it for a few seconds.
That won't run. That won't last,
Castiel stated. So wait. Sam and Dean and Cass ran for the demon too, and they had the weapons too. Calm, cool running streams.
That won't last.
The bookshelf tumbled over, scaring the books over the corridor. Standing on the other side of the now open door was Ponyboy, knife in hand. Everyone ran towards the main room, and Dean slammed the door shut and held it.
Darn it! If only we had some holy water, or if we could paint down a seal on the holy ground, because we knew that we were facing off against the demon. Why didn't we paint down a demon holy spell right down there to freeze Ponyboy? I mean, that would be so easy. Nope, we have to run like we got tails between our legs. Yep!
Dean cursed. So did I. But I've got a whole library of curses ready for this fic.
Damn it! It was a salt. I have salt.
Why? Castiel informed. Everyone stared in a moment before he barked orders. Salt the doors and windows, damn it. What? I cussed? Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, I meant to damn the... No. I didn't mean damn as in D-A-M-N. I meant damn as in D-A-M. I mean damn the doors as in slam the doors up to the wall and make sure that no one breaks in. Oh, phew! Castiel complied. So, so it was Dean who said that? So it was Dean who barked the orders? Then why did you not say that? That would have made everything feel so much easier and flow there better. You could have easily stated something. And my brain is starting to fall out of my head. Cassio complied and started to salt every door and window. Sam did not join in because... The begging stopped. How does salt help? Soda asked. No one answered him, and Dean stepped away from the door and took out a marker. He started to draw that devil's trap. That devil's trap, man, is the one groovy cat. And dragged the rug over it.
Step back. Don't ask why I didn't do this earlier. It's just one of those things that happens.
Notice the salt being blown away from the small crack in the door. Weak salt.
Go get them,
Lilith said. Ponyboy nodded and went after them, thinking that he needed to torture the intruders to convince Sam to become Lucifer's vessel once again. I thought this was a test! Now we're going to do this again! The door slammed open, and Ponyboy walked into the room, instantly flinging Dean towards against the back wall. Ugh! He gasped in pain as he fell to the floor in a grunt. Well, that's almost there. Wow, I'm starting to see a whole bunch of porn stories that could be made from this scene alone. No, I won't think it.
You just really love to anomaly, don't you?
Ponyboy said, taking a step for each word. He continued to walk forward until his foot couldn't go forward anymore, as if a wall blocked him. He frowned.
Period.
Glancing down and removed the rug. He would have tried to call for Lilith for help, but he sensed her presence gone. The demon hadn't exactly told him the full plan besides. Play a game with Sam. Dean stood up, walking over and taking out the flask of holy wire. Some game?
Sam barely did anything! You caused torment here. Might as well exercise you now.
Go ahead. Lilith already left the building.
The demon hid his nervousness.
Where is she, demon?
I won't tell you that.
Dean growled, splashing holy water on Ponyboy. Ponyboy hissed in pain as smoke emitted from his body.
Wait, will that affect Ponyboy?
Johnny asked. It's just the demon is affecting.
You're a fucking bastard. You're killing all those innocent people just for a fucking game!
Wow. Fuck your mom with that mouth?
Oh, wait. See burnt to death on the ceiling. You know, that was probably a bad idea. The rest of the holy water was poured on the demon, making him cry out in pain. Dean motioned for Sam to recite the exorcism. Exorcus te omnis imbritus spirit, omnis sanctus protestius. Sam chanted. Ponyboy gasped out, and the wind blew inside the chapel. Books flew off the shelves.
No! Save the books!
Omnis insustos infaderus ad faresi, omnis coronel et serenata diroca. Now everyone could see the black smoke coming out of Ponyboy's mouth before trying to push its way back in. Ergo Draco Mecaniti, Ute Exigeno Tuam Secura, Tibi Facito Libertate Saverte, Tigro Romotas Adrunos! With that, Ponyboy let out a scream and tilted his head outwards, and the demon flew out and left. He fell to the floor, only to be caught by the nearby 2-bit. Is it gone? Is our brother safe? Soa asked. Sam nodded. Ponyboy opened his eyes that he had shut. They were back to normal. Everyone sighed in grief.
Is it over?
Ponyboy gasped out. Trying to keep his breath, tears started to trail down his face as he remembered all those deaths. Yeah, baby. It's over. Soda cooed. I'm sorry, but, The Hohei meter is starting up. I thought I fixed this sucker. Excuse me a second. There we go. And held Pony Boy from 2-Bit's grasp. He hugged his brother close. I should be heart-warmed, but by now this fic has drained a lot of my energy. But it was interrupted by the sound of a stomach growling. Ponyboy blushed, making his tears look odd. Everyone stared at him and started to laugh. Well, almost anyways. Don't laugh. I haven't ate or slept in a few days, Ponyboy whined. Come on, let's fix that problem.
Aw, you're so nice, Mr. Fanfic. Wait, if you read one so people will think that last sentence is cute, while others would think of more erotic things. Yeah, listen, I've got this little yellow Pegasus over here with a butterfly cutie mark that apparently is a huge writer of outsiders yaoi fics.
Oh, so they're my most popular ones on fanfiction.net. I'm very popular on the Outsiders fan groups.
Fluttershy, you and I are going to have words. And cake. And maybe tea together. I just can't stay mad at her. Ponyboy spent the past half an hour gobbling down food like it was going to run away from him. At the end, he finished 2 full, and I mean full, plates of food and a slice of chocolate cake. If you keep eating that much, you're going to get fat, Sora joked, rubbing the top of Ponyboy's head, only to have it swallowed away. You try no eating for a few days. Ponyboy commented, putting the dishes in the sink. The door swung open, banging against the wall, causing Ponyboy to flinch. Tim and Curly marched right in it and slammed the door. Hey, you guys! 2-Bit greeted, taking a swig of beer. You guys ready going to the Rumble? What's the Rumble for? We believe that
We believe the So's killed that one greaser in the park.
Said Ponyboy's his mom and dad from up in heaven. Ponyboy sunk into the couch he just sat on, next to Johnny. Some of the gang stole glances at Pony, and Pony tried to ignore the looks he was getting. What's a rumble? Castiel asked, curiosity clear on his face.
Why are we still here?
It's an organized fight between Sosos and greasers, Johnny answered. What type of rumble is it? And why didn't we mention any of this in the last few chapters?
Just skin, Curly answered, leaning against the wall by the door. Alright, we're coming. Derry said, glancing over at the 3 time travelers with a "You are so going with us" look. The 3 exchanged looks before agreeing.
Why?
The 3 exchanged looks before agreeing. Why?
I'll stay here with Ponyboy,
Johnny offered, earning a grateful look. Why? Everyone was left the house together. Curly couldn't help but ask a few questions. Why?
What the hell is wrong with Ponyboy?
He looked like he was going to pass out. Why? He asked, taking another long step. He's just tired. Why? Sam answered, bringing another question for Curly. Why? Who are you guys? I'm Sam. Why? Dean. Why? Castiel. Why? They soon got to the place where the rumble was about to begin. Why? Why?
Why? Just why? Why are you bringing them in? Why are they here? Why do they need to do this? They don't need to rumble. They don't need to join the rumble. Lilith is busy. This whole entire thing seems rather pointless.
Ponyboy fell asleep on the couch, making Johnny retreat into the ground. He lowered the volume of the blaring TV and changed the sound to a Joey voice. But no matter how much he wants to pay attention to the TV, his attention was on the young greaser that was sleeping behind him.
And then Johnny leaned in and gave Ponyboy a gentle kiss on the lips. It was something that Johnny had never thought about doing before, but Ponyboy looked so kissable at that moment that he had to bring. Sorry again.
Fluttershy, how about after this I give your yaoi a read, huh?
Oh, you would?
Why not?
Ponyboy currently was being haunted by his dreams. He was in a black void that was in his mind. Wait a minute. If only he went with him to watch the movie, then he wouldn't be in that position.
But he was at a track meet when it happened. I read that first chapter. He was at a track meet.
Playboy shakily glanced down at his hands, was recovering someone else's crimson blood.
Crimson! My old enemy!
Scared below him were the countless bodies he had killed. Ponyboy sank to his knees terribly, squashing a few organs on his knees.
That probably sounded scarier in your head.
Tears freely fell down his face, turning red as it mixed in with the blood. His body shook as memories of every person the demon had killed flooded his mind.
You killed them all.
A familiar voice spoke. He couldn't place it. Ponyboy whirled around, trying to find a source. No one was there.
You're a pathetic Billy. Pathetic human, killing all those people. Nuking one gas station full of people, and killing at least one greaser. I mean, yeah, that is a lot, but we haven't seen you do much beyond that, other than just mocking, teasing, and generally being a douche. You haven't even really done all that badly in comparison.
No, I didn't. It wasn't me,
Ponyboy denied, choking on his own tears.
Of course you did. Why else is there blood on you?
Stop. It wasn't me.
Mister, why did you kill me?
I had a wife and son, and now I can't support them because of you.
Damn you, Ponyboy Curtis! Go to hell!
Oh, shoot. You even killed Mr. Ed?
I'm disappointed, Ponyboy! The voices played through his head, as it was a broken record. Ponyboy moved his bloody hands to his ears, trying to block the voices out, but it was futile. All he could do was look up at the heavens and sing,
You're going to do the joke, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Crawling in my skin, these wounds they will heal. He could still hear them loud and clear. Arms wrapped around his neck and pushed against his back. Someone was hugging him from behind.
Oh my.
But he didn't dare look back. He was too afraid.
See, Ponyboy, you are the one that killed them. You're a murderer! 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 You murdered me! Murdered me! Murdered me! Murdered!
The original voice from before whispered in one of Ponyboy's ears. No. Ponyboy breathed out. No, stop! Ponyboy flung up, surprising Johnny. He panted and wiped away some stray tears from his face.
Ponyboy, are you okay? Did you have another nightmare?
Johnny asked, which was replied with a small nod.
Do you remember what it was about?
Ponyboy bit his lip, thinking how he should explain it to his best friend.
I don't remember.
He finally managed out, feeling bad that he lied to Johnny.
Johnny then cuddled Ponyboy close, wanting to only listen to his heartbeat. The heartbeat showed how much their love meant to each other. Oh, how were the days that Johnny wished they could just spend these moments alone, together.
Fluttershy, I told you, I'll read you your fic!
The two groups, social greasers, stand opposed to one another. Two representatives from both sides stood up, each giving a death stare, both daring the other to make the first move. All of a sudden, the greaser lasts out, slugging the Sos in the jaw. And thus, the rumble started. Dean ducked as a kick was sent his way. Why? He grabbed one onto the leg and flipped the person it was attached to. Why? None of these Soses knew how to fight. Why? It was sad. Why? Sam stood beside him. Why? Bringing his elbow down Sosa's neck. Why? Hitting a pressure point. Why? He went down. Why? Cass in the meantime. Why? Was destroying the So... Cass in the meantime was destroying the Sos.
Elmo, I've become the angel of death, just as it was always written to be, and you will know that my name is the Lord when I bring my vengeance upon thee, and I will smite thee. You know, I kind of like this whole entire destroy thing.
I'm going to go over here now and try to wipe the horrifying image you just put into my brain.
I am always happy to fight with the Winchesters. Ding! He commented, but when he was close enough for the two brothers to hear.
And then the
Trixie, no. Hearing Fluttershy's outside alleys is bad enough without hearing your DCL fix.
Okay, but don't say I didn't warn you.
The time travelers could tell that both sides were getting exhausted, to the point where it was hard to tell which side would win. But Team Free Will hardly broke a sweat.
Which is why them entering a fight was a bad idea?
Sam slugged the other guy, catching the attention of many fighters. They were all in awe. Ah!
I said awe. A-W-E.
Ooh! It only made sense that they were hunters.
And they were fighting normal humans because...
Soon there were only 16 left, and they scurried away, knowing full well that by observing, they couldn't win. Others note, I'm not good at writing fight scenes. Sorry. Not writing fight scenes is the least of your problems! The greasers there erupted in a tear of victory. Some passed out on the muddy ground from exhaustion. The gang of the hunters walked back to the house.
Man, you two guys were awesome at fighting, Two-Bit complimented. Where did you learn all that?
We were hunters. Our dad taught us how to fight when we were young to defend ourselves,
Dean explained. They opened the door to find Ponyboy completely awake, licking at his hands, and singing something about how he was crawling in his skin and these wounds he would not heal. Pony and Johnny, who was looking at Ponyboy worriedly, kissing his head and Fluttershy.
You okay, Pony?
Sora asked. Ponyboy nodded and glanced at him.
What happened?
We won.
The cells ran away like pussies.
Dally commented, grinning victoriously. My apologies. Ponyboy then looked at Sam, Dean, and Cass.
I forgot to tell you three something. It concerns you going back to your time.
That got the three's attention.
Yeah, I thought killing the demon would work, but apparently it didn't.
When the demon possessed me, I had access to his thoughts as well as the conversations he had because he didn't put B in constant. Delete. It was one of the first things I found out what happened.
What is it?
Dean asked impatiently. Dean really wanted to get back to his baby, Dee and Paula.
A mirror.
What about a mirror?
Well, there's this movie called Occultist. It's a way that the demon traveled through here, and so did Lilith. Stand in front of one and chant, Spectre tibi aperoso processe e pelos mundos, referente media temporis inculto torvota and lotus, and then walk through,
Buffy said, ready to go back home with her friends. Everyone deadpanned, except for Sam, who was smiling, and Cass, and was lost in the Latin.
How did you memorize that Latin chant when you only heard it once?
Dean asked, flabbergasted. I know Latin. It's a class in high school I took.
Jesus, you're like Sammy, minus a tall moose.
Moose?
Forget it. Well, this was good. Goodbye. This was weird. I don't want to sound like a soup opera, but so bye.
Goodbye. It was nice meeting you. Cassiel spoke. Bye, everyone. Sam finally said. They were lucky that there was a mirror in the living room, so they stood right in front of it, and Moose chanted what Ponyboy said. The reflections rippled, and Cass stuck his hand through the mirror, but it went through. Cassiel then pushed through, followed by Dean.
Are you scared?
I'll always be here now, haunting you.
Oh, that's one of my favorite Evanescence songs.
It was that voice for the dream. Ponyboy noticed someone sat next to him, and he looked at who it was. He froze instantly upon looking at himself, eyes filled black. Now you know why he recognized that voice. Sam looked at Ponyboy with a worried glance, knowing what was going on through his brain. Before stepping through the portal. The three of them face planted on the ground, then groaned before getting up, noticing that they were at the place where the witch had sent them back. But one thing was different. The witch was lying on the ground, body bloody, and a few parasites had found their way on her. The three walked back to the Apollo's part. Wait, so who killed the witch?
Oh, it was me.
Castiel turned, and so did Demon Sam as the jaws dropped, and there was sweet and innocent Willow, her hands still glowing with fire. Willow let out a sigh.
She was going to. She put you guys under a horrible time travel spell that put you into some sort of time lock that would have kept you dreaming that you were in a horrible fanfic. I couldn't stand by and let that happen to to three of my dearest friends. So I told her to stop, or else I would make her stop. She growled at me and decided to try to fight me. We both had a magic duel and I kind of won. I then used a time spell of my own to get you out of the dream.
Oh, thanks, Willow.
You're welcome.
The three walked toward the Apollo's part, glad that it wasn't towed away or messed with. Dean was the most emotional only about it and ran to the car.
Nothing happened to you, right? Oh, baby.
He asked the car like it was alive. Sam rolled his eyes before sitting in the passenger seat. Cassiel sat in the back, while Dean sat in the driver's seat.
Ew!
No!
Oh.
He turned on the ignition, and the radio turned on. Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Dun, 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 dun. Dean growled, turning off the song before turning back to the road.
Damn it! I hate that song.
The end and... Well, people, I'm not gonna lie. This was bad. Not like it bad. Not Doom levels of bad. But this was bad. Ugh. The grammar mistakes that I was pointing out are only but a few here. There were misplaced commas all over the place. Sentence fragments, run-on sentences. It was just a mess. Everything just seemed to come together in some sort of convoluted mix of badness when it came to writing. We couldn't tell who was talking to what, as you could see with some of my gags, and none of the dialogues flowed correctly. None of it felt like they were characters when the dialogues came out. See, this is what I meant by dialogue flowing or giving me good dialogue, is when you can't hear the character speaking. For example, if you see a sentence that says, well, I can't be bothered to see what's going on, but I'll help you out anyway, you know that's Applejack. Or, hey there, Giles, what do you got for me? That's Buffy. You can tell who they are. I couldn't tell any of these characters' words or their dialogue. All of the dialogue just felt so stilted. Not to mention, the plot got bad. I'm not saying that an Outsiders and Supernatural crossover couldn't work. It could, theoretically. I mean, technically any crossover, if you put in a lot of time and effort and work with it, can work. Even Fluttershy's Outsiders and Children of Darkness crossover that she's writing.
Thinnest, actually.
Thinnest, I'm sorry. Would work. But here, it didn't felt like a story. It felt like some sort of random bunch of ideas that were just being lumped in together just to see what would happen. We first start off with, Lucifer wants to put Sam through a test. Okay, what kind of test? That would be easy to explain. Nope, sorry, it's actually 66 seals so they could resurrect Lucifer. Okay, but this is the past. Lucifer doesn't need to be resurrected. Okay, now Lilith needs to break the 66 seals to free Lucifer from his cage. Okay, but that doesn't need to happen, and one of those seals requires it to be Halloween. The 66 seals, one of those requires you to do some sort of incantation and do some sacrifices during Halloween so you can release Sam Hain. It was kind of explained in that episode. Okay, now she's going to try to release the last seal by sacrificing something. Okay, and trying to make Lucifer's vessel again. That really doesn't need to happen again. And now there's a rumble, which, I don't know if you noticed, happened for no reason. There was no reason. for that rumble to happen? Well, there was a reason. Apparently, it was because the greasers were blaming the Soses for it. Okay, if that was true, then why not explain it in the plot? You say that they're blaming it. Okay, then let's see some characters. Throw in a couple of OCs that say, hey, you are blaming it. Hey, this happened. Try to show some build up, some definition of why this is going to happen. You can't just throw it in the background and not let it happen. Let me put it this way. Back in the original book, The Outsiders, their rumble made sense. Because first off, it was obvious that Johnny had killed the Sos. We had seen it. So of course tensions were going to rise. People started arguing, fighting. There was already a boiling point. And the fact that they were also going to try to kill Ponyboy also added on to that. So yes, the rumble at the very end, besides making for a nice climactic sequence, felt natural. It came from the plot. Here, you just threw that in because it felt like, okay, this needed to happen. And I feel like going, no, it doesn't. It didn't need to happen. There was no evidence that it was a Sos. Throw the Sos' body in there. Give a Sos a knife or something. I also feel like the whole 66 seals thing made no sense. I mean, it served as a nice countdown, but maybe over time it could do it. But it didn't. You just started throwing in the whole entire seals bit because, well, it happened in the show. But it didn't. There were so many other plots you could have had Ponyboy do while in the demon thing. And that is another problem I have, speaking of the plot. I don't know if you noticed, but this fic is 9 chapters long. Sam and Dean disappear after chapter 3 and only come back at the end of midway through chapter 6. But through it all, Sam, Dean, and Cass, who, by the way, doesn't even need to show up. Cass did not need to be there. I mean, I love Castiel, but Cass did not need to pop up. You did not need to have Cass show up. But did you notice what was going on about this little crossover? Something important that a Buffy and Supernatural crossover would have done at least 30 times by now, and would have had at least Dean and Buffy get together? Yeah. No interactions! It was just like, oh, well, Sam and Dean and Cass are over there. Hi. We'll pop up later. Boop. This is the equivalent of writing a freaking Buffy crossover where Buffy only shows up near the end of the story just to say hi. Or writing a side crossover with, say, Morio, and they barely do anything together. And that's a huge disappointment. Because, Sam, Dean, Daryl, I can see them getting along. I can see them having a conversation, talking about how hard it is to help out a brother, how bad it is to have the whole weight of the world upon you because, you gotta protect this little guy. The strain of being the older one, being this guy that your dad pegged, losing parents. You had plenty of moments for some really good emotional scenes between Dean and Daryl, and you just went, well, I could write them, but nah. Let's just watch random scenes of Lilith killing people. Burn, baby, burn! Or, Sam interacting with Ponyboy. Those two could get along magnificently. We could see lots of scenes between them. Heck, you could have had plenty of scenes where Daryl's feeling helpless and saving his brother if you wanted to go the possession route. But no. You barely had the two brothers any of the brothers interact with each other. And that also hurts this fic the most, I think. There's no heart in it. When Johnny was comforting Ponyboy, that should have been your denouement. That should have been the point where I was feeling warm and happy to see that happening. I should have had ammo to ridicule it. I should have been, warmed and enjoying that scene. When Ponyboy was cured, that should have happened. But no, these guys weren't characters. They lacked heart. They lacked form. They just felt like characters just a couple of puppets spouting out exposition or dialogue. There was nothing here that could tell me that these were the characters I fell in love with. I would have loved to have seen Sam feel a little worried about, Lucifer coming back. Or, some scenes between the Curtis brothers. But there was just so little interaction that by the time everything was said and done, I felt nothing. I didn't feel emotionally attached. I didn't feel warm-hearted. This is supposed to be Outsiders. There's supposed to be plenty of good friendship moments, brother moments. There should be enough friendship moments to fill up a pony fic. There should be enough brother moments to fill up a good Full Metal Alchemist fic. But there wasn't. The characters were all just lifeless. We never saw any resolution. And about the whole entire murdering thing, Ponyboy barely did much of anything as a demon other than just walking around snickering and going, ha ha ha, I'm evil. Ooh. Lilith just felt like, oh, I'm evil. Ooh. There was really nothing to the villains, and it just felt bland. I just couldn't stand it. Well, I'm sorry, people. I was expecting this to be a classic, but it just fell out of the way. Good things about it? At least Ponyboy didn't get raped. I guess that's something. And that's another thing. Sam, Dean, and Cass all felt out of character. The cussing was kind of extraneous, and actually so did everybody else. Everybody else just felt out of character, so far removed that it wasn't even funny. Well, I made it funny. Good. Like I said, nobody got raped. Cherry wasn't in it, so she couldn't get character blasted for interfering with a Yaoi ship.
Oh no, that's just wrong. I would never do that.
Well, that's it, people. My recommendation, only read it unsupervised or MST twice. But I have a promise to a little yellow Pegasus. See you next time. Alright, Fluttershy, so what is it? Lay it on me.
Oh, well, I have this wonderful 30-chapter fic about Ponyboy's relationship with Johnny, where he proceeded to, and then I also have this wonderful 20-chapter story involving Soda Pop and Two-Bit,
Yeah.
and then I got one with Valley Dallas and Derek.
Yeah, just keep going, Flutters. I have a feeling whatever you're about to give me is 100 times better.